If, like so many runners, you've been told that you need to work on strengthening your glutes, then I've got a really good 10-minute workout for you to try. This uses the same principle as our Bulletproof Runners program. So we do these exercises little and often. And this is the first exercise. You can do this off the side of a couch, off the side of your bed. You don't need anything fancy. There's no equipment needed for any of these exercises, in fact. We're gonna start out just balancing kind of on the upper back, your shoulder blades, heels roughly underneath your ankles. We're gonna come down, breaking at the hip. So hinging here, we're gonna come down to the bottom as far as we comfortably can lower. And from there, I want you to consciously squeeze your butt as you push your hips up into the air. Up and hold that position, consciously clenching, just feeling for 10 seconds, we're engaging our glutes. Okay, after 10 seconds, we come down again, break at the hip, again, push through the heels to come up to the top again. Consciously squeeze through your glutes. 10 times 10-second holds in this hip thrust position at the top is a really good start. And once you get a bit more advanced with this, you can turn that into a single leg hip thrust. So from the top, we'll just bring one foot off the ground, we come down, and again, push through the heel. You should feel far more intense now. We really get glute max, the big one of those glute muscles working. Again, 5-second hold this time, down to up. 10 times 5-second holds on each side rather. Trust me, you're gonna feel it through those glutes. Now, second exercise. What I want you to do is use either, in this instance, a bench or a chair, and just set yourself up so that you've got it set up at knee height so that this becomes almost a hurdle that you're having to work to get over. You'll see what I mean. I'm gonna start out slightly soft standing leg, and this leg is going to work up and over the top of the hurdle, touch down. You're not taking any weight through this toe, you're just touching the ground and bring it back. So you balance the challenge. Okay. There and back. Trying not to shift around with the torso. Slow and controlled. And in doing this, you'll just stabilize using a combination glute max, glute med, glute min, and of course, other muscles like your adductors and your core muscles to really stabilize your pelvis. And of course, yeah, those glutes working to stabilize the hip. So the standing leg is the leg that will get tired most likely, rather than the moving leg. You might feel it, kind of deep hip flexors, bit of groin. If you're weak in that area, it's no bad thing to strengthen through range, but it is all about that standing leg. 20 reps, so 10 back and forth, you'll feel it, and then the same on the other side. So from here, we are up and over, touch, back. That was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. through to 10. So you'll feel it's one of those exercises that starts out feeling pretty easy, but over time, having to stabilize as you're working through range and hold that position, it'll creep up on you. 3 sets of that, your glutes will be burning. After that, I want you to move into a single leg squat variation. Now, you may have heard me talk about this before or seen me describe this before. A lot of the time when we get coached single leg squats, it's bend at the knee, bend at the hip, keep your back straight and up. Again, us runners, we don't need to go super low. We don't need to do low, deep pistol squats. Yeah, it's great if you can. Shows an immense amount of quad strength and control. But really what we need as runners, we need to be able to control this range of motion here, because this is the range we load through in terms of weight bearing, hip, knee, ankle. But when we're coming down into our single leg squats here, it's actually not super effective at getting glute max working in comparison to if we add in a little bit more hip flexion with a reach forward with the arms. We're reaching forward, touching something roughly knee height or slightly below ahead of us. Look at the difference in hip angle between this versus this. We load those glutes through far more of a range of motion when we get that little bit of a counterbalance going on. So 3 sets of 10 where, very simply, you're coming down, touch, and back up, focusing on keeping the back straight, but feeling that counterbalance of pushing the hands forwards, allowing you to sit back, and then squeeze the hips, finish the top of the movement. You can also drive the other knee through to get to that kind of running man position where, again, as you drive the knee through into hip flexion, it gets easier for us to engage those extensors, those glutes. But to begin with, just think about getting that counterbalance right, getting to that point where you feel the load and unload. Then obviously the same on the other side. And as you're doing that, we want to make sure that we're keeping the knee pointing forwards over the toes. We don't want to feel any drift in towards the midline there. Okay, so 3 pretty simple exercises, minimal to no equipment needed. It's all stuff you can find around the house, a couch, a bed, a chair. Let me know how you get on. And if you like this kind of little and often approach to strength and conditioning, check out the Bulletproof Runners program, linked down in the description.